Magandang araw po sa inyo. Welcome po sa isa na namang episode ng online series nilang pamantasan kung saan ang pagkatuto ay walang hangganan. Ito ang PNU Talks. Ako nga pala si Jason O. Caraang, alumnus ng Philippine Normal University, North Luzon. Nagtapos ng kursong Bachelor of Elementary Education, English Concentration Batch 2007. Kasalukuyan nagtuturo sa Rizal Elementary School, Schools Division Office, Makati City, School Paper Advisor, Teacher Researcher, Demonstration Teacher in Reading, at ako ang inyong Learning from Home buddy sa episode na ito. Ngayong araw ay aking tatalakayin ang isa sa napapanahong paksa na may pinamagatang Addressing Learning Problems in the New Normal Through Action Research. I-comment ang inyong mga katanungan at mga kuro-kuro tungkol sa ating episode ngayong araw. Huwag kalimutang i-like at i-share ang episode natin. Aside from promoting language instruction, reading literacy, and campus journalism, I'm also an advocate of conducting action research in the Schools Division Office, Makati City, National Capital Region. Action research is one of the topics that I really love to discuss and to do because it is close to my heart. This talk aims to promote one's reflective practice and promote professional learning anchored on commitment to improve teaching practices in the new normal through action research. As a teacher researcher, my action researches focus on reading strategies, reading comprehension, and reading engagement, and improving writing. I can say that conducting an action research is a beautiful and meaningful experience. I conduct seminar workshops on action research in NCR and other regions as my advocacy to help public school teachers in developing the research competencies. Through these trainings, teachers have been equipped with research skills to conduct an action research to improve both instruction and learning performance of students. As we shift to the new normal in education, the Department of Education prepared various learning modalities to continue learning during this pandemic and to ensure that there are alternatives for this new learning environment. Thus, DepEd made the Learning Continuity Plan, which includes different learning modalities like modular distance learning, online distance learning, and TV, radio-based instruction. However, we expect some challenges as we implement these learning platforms. To ensure learning, the school must address learning issues in order to achieve quality learning in the new normal. We can help achieve quality in basic education by upskilling the competencies of teachers through action research. That's one of the components of the battle cry of the DepEd, Sulong Edukalidad. Sulong Edukalidad's logo reflects the vision, mission, and goal of the Department of Education to deliver quality education. In this new normal, teachers develop learning modules that are suited to the different needs of students. We have been instructed by DepEd to refer to the most essential learning competencies to create learning activity sheets, developmentally appropriate modules, and other instructional materials. The content comes from the most essential learning competencies. The teacher unpacks the MELCs into more specific learning competencies as guided by the K-12 curriculum guide. This will be the learning goal that students need to achieve. How do we ensure that learning takes place in the new normal? How can action research address learning problems of students in the new normal? This requires us now teachers to design instructional activities and assessment tasks, use appropriate learning materials, and print and digitize instructional resources to achieve the performance standards set by DepEd. Learning will be achieved if we have good instructional plans, activities, and assessment tasks. If students fail to achieve good performance, action research comes in. We define action research as putting ideas into practice as a means of improving curriculum, teaching, and learning. It is a self-reflective process of a classroom practice with the purpose of understanding and improving quality of instruction. First, let's try to brainstorm the situations at work or the problems that affect teaching learning process in the new normal. What could be issues that affect learning of your students? I asked some public elementary and secondary public school teachers from Makati City about their perceptions on the learning and other problems that the students may encounter in the new normal. Here are the responses of the teachers. Senator Sonny Angara also mentioned the two major concerns of DepEd, internet connectivity and the issue of the curriculum and educational materials that have to be adapted for use with a blended learning environment. According to the senator, access to educational materials through the internet will not be realized if internet itself is inaccessible due to lack of service or network infrastructure. The local government can help us have an access to internet connection. That's an internet connection problem. What about if something goes wrong with their lessons? What do you do? We ask the question, what can be done to address the least mastered skill or the competencies of students? This shows situations that you would like to change or improve with action research. What problems call for action research in the new normal? Is it the low participation of students in online and modular activities? Irregular attendance? Students' negative attitude toward the subject? Low motivation of students to perform their best in the tasks? Non-accomplishment of performance tasks, parents' indifference concerning their children's education, or low reading performance. To address these problems, DepEd promotes and strengthens the culture of research in school where teachers implement strategies, interventions, and innovations to improve learning as well as to increase the performance of students. Learning is the core of the mandates of the Department of Education. Teachers can help deliver the most essential learning competency from the K-12 curriculum that is relevant and responsive to the needs of students in the new normal. The role of the action research comes in as we integrate and strengthen action research in curriculum and instruction by creating a learning environment and using appropriate strategies and interventions to address these problems and to promote learning. It is our responsibility in our mandate in this new normal to provide quality basic education to all our students and to achieve positive learning outcomes. This can be realized if we maximize the competencies of teachers and the potentials of all our students. In this new normal, what strategies and best practices could help improve one's instruction and learning? How can we maximize the potentials of all students when we deliver instruction using this learning modality? We can incorporate strategies in our instruction to enhance the teaching-learning process. How can we effectively teach the most essential learning competencies? What interventions can be done if our students experience difficulty in learning the competencies or if they have not achieved the desired performance standard of the lesson? The use of child-centered approach, emerging good practices, ICT in education, differentiated instruction, or the collaborative learning are some of the teaching and learning strategies that teachers can apply to ensure inclusive and learner-centered education. In the article, Teaching Through a Pandemic, Cognitive Load, Mental Health, and Learning Under Stress by Valentina Iturbe Lagrave, Director for Inclusive Teaching Practices, the author describes what cognitive load theory or CLT is. According to Sweller, 2012, cognitive load theory helps us understand how unnecessarily complex learning tasks can increase the cognitive load imposed on students. What increased cognitive load? These are the unnecessary distractions, poorly explained activities and assessments, unclear subject expectations, confusing learning management system interface, long pre-recorded lectures, and inadequate online teaching methods make processing difficult. These are the causes of problems that our students will experience in the new normal. Merenbuer and Sweller, 2010, provide us all the principles and strategies to help reduce cognitive load and optimize teaching in the new normal, such as removing all non-essential content. That's why the Department of Education provided us only the most essential learning competencies that our students need to learn in the new normal. Providing textual, visual, and auditory explanation. Multimodal. That's where the use of technologies comes in. Providing prompts to enrich tasks. Teachers should provide scaffolded activities in the learning module to guide the students what to do. Creating opportunities for collaborative learning and provide clear expectations. Technologies help create opportunities for the students to collaborate on the tasks. Breaking up complex content into shorter modules. The use of graphs, charts, maps, timelines, and other visuals is also important. This could help explain the concepts taught in the module and online resource, providing clear and concise instructions, providing examples and full explanations to the problems for students to study. Before students can practice the skills being taught to them, they must be given first examples to prepare them for the activities in the guided practice. That's explicit teaching. Since the Department of Education will be using the online distance learning as learning modality, teachers can serve as facilitators of learning, engaging learners' active participation through the use of various technologies accessed through the internet. The use of online learning provides us the opportunity for live synchronous instruction. In the Schools Division Office, Makati City, schools will be using the Google Classroom as online teaching platform. It makes teaching learning process more productive, meaningful, and collaborative. With Google Classroom, teachers can create classes, distribute tasks, assessments, and send feedback, and see everything how students perform. Aside from the use of Google Classroom, another way to engage students in learning is the use of interactive learning modules. Interactive learning modules are small web applications which provide an environment where students interact with the learning activity. It promotes active learning to actively participate in the learning process. Teachers should be able to include engaging activities in the module to create a meaningful learning experience of students. This could help improve learning performance. Multimedia approach can be another approach to engage our students in learning in the new normal. This method is a blend of audio, text, animation, video, still images, or interactivity content forms to teach and understand concepts in the lesson. Integrating multimedia into learning environment may motivate students and enhance interaction between the students and the teacher. Video clip is a teaching technique that makes use of instructional videos available online to show and teach concepts. The students today are using educational videos as a tool for learning the content of the lesson. A 2015 study conducted by software company Kaltura concluded that 93% of the teachers believe that the use of educational videos improve the learning experience of students. The visual and auditory nature of videos appeals to students and allows them to process information in a way that's natural to them. We can integrate videos or video clips in our online distance learning to enrich the content of the lesson in the new normal. Gamified online learning tools. Children always love to play, and that's why creative teachers introduce the lesson to them with interesting games. They can learn more about the subject with fun. A wide range of games are available online that showcase the concepts of plants, animals, weather, forces, light, sounds, and gases. These are the games with multiple levels, and passing each level teaches a new concept and illustrates scientific experiments. Discussion boards for online classes give students the opportunity to talk about the topics with each other and with the teacher. They can talk about this content of the lesson with one another. When learners engage in discussions with other students instead of just the teacher, the opportunities for knowledge retention is great. It is important for students to have the opportunity to reflect and to share viewpoints. Now the question is, how can we use action research in addressing learning problems in the new normal? We can use these research-based strategies to deliver good instruction. We can incorporate these strategies, interventions, innovations when something goes wrong with your lesson. Now, it is a challenge for all of us teachers of online learning environment to focus on appropriate and effective instructional and pedagogical practices in order to deliver effective online instruction. Let me end by sharing this quotation. Every day we teachers pass by the road of Jericho where struggling students wait for good Samaritans to hear the silent cry begging the attention. In this new normal, we encounter learning problems of our students. May we have the heart and the will to listen and act in order to address their learning needs. Through action research, we can help our students learn. Through our action research, we can develop our instructional competencies as teachers. Through action research, we can help bring positive change for our students, for our school, for our division. I hope that this presentation makes you realize that we can do something to address the learning needs of our students in the new normal. Together as instructional leaders and nation builders, we can commit ourselves and give our full support to the call of PNU President Dr. Bert J. Tuga, that is to sustain the light of the torch and continue serving the nation. Let me take this opportunity to thank Philippine Normal University, North Luzon, for being my home for 4 years that helped me achieve my dream of becoming a public school teacher. I thank the newly designated officials of PNU North Luzon headed by Dr. Lourdinho A. Vergara, the officer in charge, Executive Director of PNU North Luzon, Dr. Leticia N. Aquino, Dean for Academics and Indigenous Peoples Education, Dr. Julie Dick Palting, the Associate Dean from the Faculty of Teacher Development, Dr. Roldan Cardona, Associate Dean, Faculty of Graduate Studies and Teacher Education Research in Indigenous Peoples Education, Center for IPED, Director Dr. Agnes Reyes, Professor Marites A. Balot, Director for Student Services, Mr. John D. Danzalan, Professor John Jerry Francisco, Professor Jesus Gonzalez, Dr. Raquel Jeronimo, Professor Donna Remigio, Dr. Marites Jeronimo, Dr. Madonna C. Gonzalez, Dr. Carlito Miguel, Dr. Maria Lina Pisario, Professor Edelberto Andres, and Mr. Marlon Limuel Almario. I also thank Dr. Elena A. Navas, Dr. Marisa Guiab, and Professor Femelin Ancheta for encouragement to pursue graduate studies. And to all my former professors, classmates, and co-PNU ones, thank you very, very much. Sa muli, ako si Jason O. Caraang at subayin nyo ang PNU Talks.